Inside this box is an original Game Boy. I got it off of eBay for pretty cheap. It was listed as 4 parts or repair, so the question is, can I fix it? Let's fuck around and find out. All right, I thought I'd try something a little different this time. Usually I open the package, turn the device on, do a lot of the troubleshooting ahead of doing the video, little investigative work, but I figured it would be cool to do an unboxing and just do the investigative stuff on camera. And you can follow along with me as I try to figure out what's wrong with this thing. So this came from eBay. I got it pretty cheap. It was listed as 4 parts of repair, so who knows what condition it's in. It was, FedEx did not do a great job, even though you could see these fragile stickers that the seller put on there. FedEx obviously did not pay attention to that. And this was actually in the bushes. Like, it wasn't left at my doorstep. The guy just threw it in the bushes. So I don't know what's up with FedEx right now. Not to call him out, but it's a little disappointing. Hopefully it didn't damage the already damaged goods inside, but we'll see. Because there was not supposed to be any cosmetic damage to this thing. It's just it didn't work. I think the listing said it powered up but just didn't do anything. Oh, look at that. Original Game Boy. Nothing else in the box. Original DMG 1 Game Boy console. All right. Everything looks intact. Looks like it's in pretty damn good condition. Usually you see these things are kind of yellow with age. Seems to be a legit one. It does feel rather light, but it's been a while since I've held an original. I have a couple color Game Boys that I fixed up, modded out and stuff, but haven't held a DMG original in a while. But yeah, it looks like it's in really good condition. Let's check out the battery terminals. No corrosion. Inside, the contacts for the cartridge seem to be good. The screen's got a little nick in it, but they're not bad at all. Wow, I'm actually really impressed with the condition of this. All right, let's put some batteries in and put a game in and see what happens. All right, before we put a game in, let's just power it on. It should still give us something on the screen even though there's not a cartridge in it. And there is no sign of life at all. Well, just for the hell of it, let's put a game in. I think it's supposed to come on even without a game, but let's, oh, maybe not. Look at that. We got the battery light, we got the chime, and it says, you can kind of see it says Nintendo there, but it's all, the screen is all fucked up. And it doesn't do anything. And that's the contrast there, you can see. Bring the contrast all the way up and you get the lines. Bring it down, get nothing. Okay, so I have seen something similar to this before with one of the Game Boy Colors that I fixed up. And you could actually, if you had some lines running through, I remember doing something to the connection of the screen. Like I actually resoldered where the screen connected to like the ribbon cable or something. And I remember just heating and resoldering, like reheating and letting it recool, fixed a lot of these lines. I'm not sure if this is going to be as simple a fix as that, but we shall see. Let's get this thing apart and see if there's anything obvious inside that's wrong. Okay, with the Game Boys, we've got 2, 4, 6. Looks like 6 screws. Okay. So, got the ribbon cable connecting the monitor. So we want to disconnect that. Everything looks pretty clean inside. I don't see any corrosion. But I want to get to that monitor. So I need to figure a way to just slips right out. All right. This metal shielding appears to have come up, and it's detached from the board. And then on the other board, I mean, it looks really clean. Let's take them apart further and see. Alright, I think I got all the screws out. Let's see if we can try to lift this board out. All the pads look pretty clean too. That's kind of impressive. I could probably use a little cleaning, but again, I don't see any obvious problems with this thing. Ribbon seems to be good. Alright, well let's set that aside for the moment. Let's look at the other board. One, two. There's only 2 screws there? That's interesting. Again, I don't really see any obvious flaws, any obvious damage or corrosion. Seeing that this is the only thing I can see that's wrong with it, maybe this is the problem. But let's do that and then test it again and see what happens. All right, I don't know if that did the trick, but let's put it back together and do another quick test. All right, I'm not going to put this back in the housing. I'm just going to plug it in just to do a quick test. So we're going to get this ribbon cable back in. All right, ribbon cable's back in. Put some batteries in. And let's try to power it on without a cartridge first and see what happens. Oh, okay. It's powering up without a cartridge. We actually got our boot logo that we're supposed to get without a cartridge, which we didn't get before. So apparently that metal shielding that had come apart is part of the problem. Let's put a game in and see how far it goes. So let's power off. Take our trusty Tetris. Push that in firmly. We get the Nintendo. It's all screwed up and missing lines, but... Oh, okay, and the game is actually starting. Okay. If you can see that, it actually says Tetris, kinda. So the screen is definitely screwed up. But resoldering that one piece of that copper shielding fixed the boot problem. All right, let's turn that off. So let's work on the screen now. So I've done this type of thing before with a Game Boy Color. I can't remember if it's here or it might be this ribbon under here that I need to expose, and then I just put a hot soldering iron to kind of like reflow the connections of the ribbon that go to the monitor. And that's supposed to help with all those lines. So I need to get this off. So I think I can remove this little piece of rubber. You gotta be very careful not to scratch the screen. All right, so I've removed the little rubber piece. And then there's adhesive under it. Well, that adhesive has reached the end of its life, so I'll have to replace that with something. Damn, hard to get off there. All right, got the adhesive off. So I might actually power this. I don't normally like to do this and power something up while I'm working on it, but I want to be able to see what's going on with this ribbon cable here. I want to see feedback on the screen. So maybe we'll plug this back in. All right, ribbon cable is secure. I'm gonna put a cloth in between here just so we don't short anything between the two boards. Alright, so I'm gonna use a little spudger. And you can see as I mess with this ribbon here, that is the source of these lines. So I'm actually going to take my soldering iron and try to get rid of these by applying a little bit of heat to the ribbon. All right. It's actually opposite of what I was thinking. I was thinking the dark lines we didn't want, but it's actually the white lines that we don't want. As you can see, as I adjust the contrast, the image is here in the black lines and it's disappeared in the white. So we actually want to just get we want to get this whole screen black. We just want to keep working it a little bit at a time. All right. It seems to be just tapping with the hot iron. It's kind of doing the best. Of course, I don't want to be damaging this, but I could be damaging it. All right, just got a couple lines left. Just can't seem to get them to go away. Oh, yep, I got that one to go away. Oh, all right. Screen is completely black. Oh, we got that one line right in the middle there, don't we? It's crazy, like, as soon as I get rid of one, another one pops up. All right. Oh. Well, there's no lines left. And again, it's been a while since I've seen the original screen. The contrast seems not as contrasty as I think it should be, but maybe that's just the way it was. Still got that one line in there. Looks pretty close. Right? Looks pretty good. I mean, eventually I probably will replace the LCD screen with probably a new LED screen. There's tons of stuff on the web on like modding these things and putting new brighter screens in with higher contrast. They're easier on the eye. I probably will do that eventually to make this a little more usable. Again, I think I fixed the screen. There's no lines, but it's even with the contrast up, it just looks flat, you know. And again, maybe that's just the way it always was. But yeah, I don't know. So let's put this thing back together. Now, I didn't test the buttons, but they look pretty good. I may have to take it apart again and clean the contacts, but the contacts look pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with how clean this DMG is. So one note, all these screws on the inside are Phillips head. I used a Phillips head to take the outer shell apart, but I think I was wrong with it. I think it actually is one of those tri-wing, special tri-wing heads. So I'm going to use that when I put it back together, the outside back together. Alright, so we're going to put the ribbon cable back in. Alright, that seems to be in there securely. And I'll use the tri-wing, not the Phillips head. Of course, I should have taken these batteries out earlier before working on it, but no, I think I'm wrong. I think these are Phillips. Jesus. Yeah, they're Phillips. God, I'm an idiot. All right, so no tri-wing screws on this thing. I think the problem before is I was just using a Phillips head that was a little too big. This Phillips head works a lot better. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if putting it back together I fucked it up. Or if it is holding true. All right, moment of truth. Yep, all the lines seem to be working. Let's test the buttons real quick. Yeah. I don't think select does anything, but all the other buttons seem to be working. Alright. Let's try another game. Gonna try Mega Man. Mega Man was one of my favorite series on the original Nintendo, the NES. So of course I got it for the Game Boy as well. Alright, the select button does work. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm definitely going to want to upgrade the screen at some point, because the viewing angle on these old DMGs is not great. I guess as a little kid I didn't realize that. Alright, well, looks like I managed to fix it. It was probably just two little things. It was that copper metal shielding, which I need to look up because I don't even know what purpose that serves. So obviously that copper, where it had come undone in that one solder point, was obviously one of the big problems. It was not getting past the boot screen. When you turn it on without a cartridge, it wouldn't even power on, which it's supposed to do. It's supposed to power on and give you like, well, this. Not the Nintendo logo, but a blacked out logo, and you get the chime, the coin chime. So that's what's supposed to happen without a cartridge. That wasn't happening. But then when you did put a cartridge in and powered on, it would come on, but it would just go to the boot screen. You get the chime, and it would never load the game. So obviously I think that's what that problem was, and resoldering that point on that copper shielding solved the boot issue. We still had the problem with the screen, which I knew was a pretty easy fix from having done it on the Game Boy Colors. It was just a matter of finding where the ribbon connected to the screen. I just had to pull up that this rubber little padding, which I'm just going to leave out. I don't know how important that is. It seems to work without it, and I don't have any adhesive for it. So putting a hot soldering iron along the ribbon that meets the LCD screen, well, that seemed to fix it. It's just a matter of trial and error. You know, sometimes you create new lines when you're trying to get rid of other ones, but eventually you should be able to dial it in and get all your lines back. Now, I don't know how long before those lines will come back, but hopefully it's a pretty lasting fix. It will at least last me till I decide to put a new screen in this thing. But I am really impressed at the condition of this Game Boy. I mean, it is clean. It's not faded. The screen has very few scuff marks, which usually these are all scuffed up. It's just plastic. There's a little bit of scuffage there and one like scrape there. But I mean, when you're playing, you can't even really see it. And the buttons feel good. They don't feel gunky. There's a little bit of gunk in the speaker grill. I could clean that up with some paper towels or something. But, I mean, no corrosion in the battery compartment, which is always a big problem. People let these things sit in their garages or attics, and they sit there for years, and they just, especially if you leave batteries in, man, you get all kinds of problems. But yeah, this was really taken care of. I'm really impressed, and I'm so glad I bought this and took the risk and was able to fix it. So yeah, maybe the next video I do will be replacing the screen with a brand new LED with a wide viewing angle to really amp this old Game Boy up. We'll see. Thanks, guys.